Like, I ain't gonna lie, bro. When I moved to Atlanta, I was different from how I was when I came back. I wasn't the same person when I moved down to Georgia when I came back.
Well,
and that's on me.
That's sus, but
you said that's sus. She's sus about it. Ain't she sus about that?
I ain't gonna lie. Atlanta.
Jamaica got their independence in 1962, but under their own volition, they remained in the Commonwealth, which is essentially the Empire 2.0. So it's like you can have your way, but it's still gonna be our way. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I don't know who's at the top of the pyramid. You know what I'm saying? Like the people who run Hollywood entertainment, I don't know who the faces are. We know who the people are, but I don't know no faces.
Well, you don't know who control it. They let certain people be the faces. They let people be the faces.
Like, they let people be the faces. You don't know who. Yeah, exactly. There you go. But you know what I'm saying? Like, shit, it's giving everybody a voice.
Yeah,
bro. I'm sorry. I thought you was finna just be like, it's giving.
Yeah, I'm like, please finish that sentence, bro. I don't want to hit this button on you, man.
I'm gonna throw my phone at the host.
All right, so we have another. The second and last part of our coverage on Swirlconomics by FD Signifier. Again, this is a brother that hails from Chicago but currently resides in Atlanta. He makes a lot of YouTube content that's centered on socialistic ideals. He's a leftist, proud leftist at that, and I would say a black advocate. One thing I would, like I said, there's some things I disagree with him on, but if nothing else, he is a really good person to come to for a lot of black history. And like I said, I do very much so appreciate him on that. But like I said, recently he had released a video called Swirlconomics where he kind of does the deepest of dives on interracial relationships amongst primarily black people and whites. So here's the second part of our coverage on this. Let's take a look.
What better way to illustrate your distance from blackness than to be in partnership with someone who isn't black? And depending on the dynamics of the relationship, partnering with a white person might actually provide greater access to social and economic resources. For example, before becoming a devout follower of Louis Farrakhan and having some suspect lines about Judaism in his lyrics, rapper Jay Electronica ironically spent years living with a Jewish heiress to the Rothschild family in Paris, enjoying a posh, wealthy lifestyle instead of putting out music. Former rapper Eve went from a ride or die chick in Philly to marrying a billionaire with the most billionaire sounding name ever, Maximilian Cooper.
Oh, shit.
That's his real name.
Transgender.
Really?
Isn't that amazing?
Hey, Cooper.
Through the media.
That's powers.
More money.
Max Power, right? That sound like a GTA cheat code.
She's been chilling, living that billionaire wife life since, and we haven't heard anything from her in almost a decade.
I thought they split up too, though. I thought they really split up.
Maximilian and Eve?
Yeah, they ain't really split up.
News. That'd be news to me. What happened this year?
Nah, I thought that was a while ago.
Man, she
Maybe
dropped the bag, huh? I don't know about it.
She got the bag.
Oh, she was. Yeah, if she do.
Nah, I don't know. Maybe it's somebody else then.
But let's stay there. Let's see what's going on right there.
You might live.
Oh wait, no, real quick. So do y'all think, briefly, right? What do y'all think black people should link up with not necessarily white people, right? But other races of people because they got a lot of money.
You don't want to. That's a hell of a conversation.
It's a hell of a conversation. Well, we're on a hell of a podcast, motherfucker. We talking.
No, you're right. But that's we just kind of hitting video. That's gonna be an episode. Cause we start going to interracial.
This
dating.
is gonna be an episode. What are you talking about? Jay, what you got for me, man?
Before we go into all that, I just want to say, Eve named her son Wild Wolf Fife Alexander Summers Cooper.
Hold on, hold on. Let me find a
Beta baby.
All right, yeah. That's a damn baby right
The husband name Maximilian. What Powers? Maximilian Powers is his name.
Maximilian.
She just went over there and just absorbed all the.
It don't matter what you name. You can name your kid any damn thing.
Sunflower.
The reason I say it's a hell of a conversation because now we're stepping in the realm of interracial dating and the pros and cons of interracial dating, and that can get dicey. So, in short, economically, no, black people shouldn't. But you can't help who you like, can't help who you love, so it is what it is.
What you finna say, Jay? I thought you was gonna make a point besides that.
No, I'm agreeing with him.
Yeah, she literally just went over there and like absorbed all of the European culture.
No. She definitely crossed over, but she in them elite circles now, boy.
But that's what I say. It's the elite circles you're gonna join in if you get to doing.
But that's what usually happens.
They got them elite circles.
If you dating somebody of prominence, money, and status, and especially if you're a female going into that, you're gonna follow his program. You're gonna follow his lead. So you're going to take on his rituals. You're going to take on his day-to-day activities. You're going to take on his religion.
That's how you have his lifestyles.
Pete, Meghan Markle, and Prince Harry.
Yeah, true. Just try not to talk over each other as much. So, but yeah. So you said, when you kind of go into like I would say the more dominant person's culture, right? You're pretty much going to be blending in with what they got going on instead of you staying true to yourself, and then everybody's simply becoming more black. In other words, Eve's not finna go over there with no American culture change that multi-billion-dollar house into something that's completely hers.
See, but now you'll see something like that with Tamar and her dude. He white. He's a lawyer for like a lot of black women in the entertainment industry. And like a lot of people, they saying he's doing it intentionally. You know what I'm saying? He knows his clientele, he knows his audience, you know what I'm saying? So
lawyer.
He's an entertainment lawyer, and he happens to represent a lot of black women. You know what I'm saying?
How does that even happen? How did Eve even get into that type of circle to find out a person granted her background?
That ain't too far-fetched. But that's...
It's not hard to meet.
They like what they like. They like what they like. So
I mean, shit. When it comes to entertainers and high society people, that shit always been going hand in hand. Like, back in the 30s, the old Prince of Wales, he used to date hella actresses and stuff. His dad told him, "Boy, you gonna ruin yourself in a year. You ain't gonna be no king over here, boy. You tweaking, boy."
Oh shit.
And he sure did give up the throne like in a year to marry some chick who they wouldn't let be his wife.
Damn.
Can't help what you like. Let's see what else we got going on here.
Legitimately change your life for the better by playing in the snow. So it makes sense that some black folks with, we'll say, less dedication to the cause might get the opportunity to leave and be extracted and never come back. Or worse yet, do everything they can to stay there. But this sentiment also is a little wonky in its logic. People like Dr. Umar have argued that black folks are extracted into white spaces and they partner with white people, and in doing that take wealth directly out of the black community and depositing it into the white community. And I'll come back to that later. I don't agree with these sentiments, but I understand why they exist and why it's easy to perceive them as reality. And wouldn't you know it, it kind of starts with the systemic, historical, and modern hatred of black men. Ooh, I know y'all was waiting for me to talk about that. So let's start by keeping it all the way real. This whole time I've been talking about interracial relationships like it's a general black thing, but in reality, whenever you're talking or thinking about interracial relationships, you're really talking and thinking about black men specifically, aren't you? I've already done a video about black men's sexuality, and other creators like Lil Bill, Foreign Man in the Foreign Land, and Turb have touched on the topic. I'll leave those videos in the description to do a much deeper dive than I'm going to do here. But we can't go further into this topic without addressing this elephant in the room. When we're talking about black people's negative sentiment toward interracial relationships, we're talking about a legacy of black men seeing their access to white women as a status symbol, to the point of parody even, and an ugly habit of utilizing the preference for white women as an excuse to tear down and denigrate black women. And while it's enticing, and I'm sure there are some of you watching who want me to drag my bunny hopping brothers for filth, y'all know that's not how I get down. This topic deserves more nuance than that.
All right, so real quick, what do y'all think about the guys that play in the snow? And not only do they play in the snow or the fried rice, I guess that they tear down the black women that they leave behind, right?
Oh, Jesus Christ, the man said fried rice. Anyway,
So what you talking about? The dudes who go to the other side and try to talk bad about black women?
Yeah, you know, you hear about them. Like I said, they
Yeah.
just talk about oh man, I just love it here. I love it here in the snow, and they just making the snow angels.
You're like,
And
boy,
then,
what the fuck?
Say, boy, you need to get you a Becky, boy. Leave Keisha alone, boy.
Yeah, look, man, boy, them Keisha's, man, they didn't know nothing but bad news. I love this unseasoned chicken, nigga.
Fuck out of here.
But yeah,
You're an idiot.
I don't know, man. I love black women, so I don't know, man.
I can't relate.
I don't think I can really relate to it.
But
yeah.
why is it? Why
like
is that a thing now that people are in uproar about? But it wasn't a thing in the 90s and the 80s when women were doing it.
Women, black women, what? White men?
Yeah. Tell us something. Don't leave. Go,
feel like-
don't fuck with a Darnell. Get you a Josh.
Damn.
I feel like
it's
that's
always been.
been a thing,
Yeah,
though.
I
I
feel
feel
like
like
they
that's
always
always been a
So
thing.
why is it socially acceptable for black women to say these things or these disparaging things on mainstream TV or in the media or in movies and TV shows? But if a black man turn around and does it, oh my God, how dare you?
I mean, that's the basic. That's always been going on too. I mean, women can I feel like black women can say what they want about black men. As soon as a black man say something about black women, it's blown up. You know, it's blown up.
I feel like it's a double standard because
Yeah, it's always
like,
a double standard,
because
yeah.
it's a male dominated industry. Like whatever you want to talk about, and it's like,
double-edged sword. Sorry.
you know what I'm saying. So it's like with us having our way for so long, doing what we want to do, they feel like now that they have a voice, you know what I'm saying, like they can do and say what they want, and they've been doing that since what, the 80s, 90s. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like it's been a thing. It's
So you believe in the patriarchy, yeah, or that there is one.
I believe that it is to a certain extent, but with the advancements of politics nowadays, I feel like the playing field is kind of evening out. Because I work in a woman-dominated environment.
So, with that being said, if there's a patriarchy, why would a system that's controlled and maintained by men create laws and rules and double standards that disparage men?
I just think that it came from the feminist movement. Like with women wanting to find their liberation, find their voice, they're going to go against what's deemed as acceptable or what's okay or what's been okay.
But that's fine, and the feminist movement were a part of that. But the feminist movement was just that. But the laws and the things that were made was made by men, quote unquote. So why would men create laws and give women power over a system that women claim men run? That don't make sense.
It doesn't, but in the scheme of like the world moving the way it's moving, like people know they have to gradually give control over, like this is just an example, not really related, but
Kind of socialism.
but no, I was gonna say with the British Empire, like since they was falling apart. Like after World War II, they promised to give a lot of people their independence. Like India, Jamaica got their independence in 1962, but under their own volition, they remained in the Commonwealth, which is essentially the Empire 2.0. So it's like you can have your way, but it's still gonna be our way. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I don't know who's at the top of the pyramid. You know what I'm saying? Like the people who run Hollywood entertainment, I don't know who the faces are. We know who the people are, but I don't know no faces.
Well, you don't know who control it. They let certain people be the faces. They let people be the faces.
Like
Yeah, they'll let people be the face. You don't know who.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. There you go. But you know what I'm saying? Like, shit, it's giving everybody a voice.
Yeah, you
Bro,
know.
I'm sorry. I thought you was finna just be like, it's giving.
Yeah,
I'm like, please finish that sentence, bro.
I'm
I
gonna-
don't want to hit this button on you, man.
I'm gonna throw my phone at the host. But yeah, like it's just that, bro.
Okay, so yeah, all right. You just love just fucking on my conversations, all right? Now I gotta talk about the patriarchy with your asshole. We are in the patriarchal. Okay, all right, fine. If you want to make an argument that at the tippy top, that's pulling the strings and stuff like that, that there's a feminist woman with green hair that changes like with the seasons, all right. Unless you want to make that claim, which I can't make, I can't say, I can't justify, I can't talk, I can't neither approve or deny. For the most part, the people that's calling the shots right now is the politicians, and those politicians are primarily and most normally dominated by. Those spaces are pretty dominantly male spaces. You know what I'm saying? So for as long as it's gonna be men calling the shots as far as on the as far as politically, even if it's a woman president for the whenever that may happen, it's still going to be a patriarchal system that yes will implement systems and legislation that disparages men, right? Mm-hmm. That if these men decided for it to be so for whatever reason, and it may not be as it may not just be very cut and dry, you know what I'm saying? Because on paper, yes, you can say it makes sense. You can't say it wouldn't make sense for a man to make rules and legislation that helps women. You know what I'm saying? But by definition, it's we quite literally are living in a patriarchal society because the people running the country are a bunch of men.
I disagree. That doesn't make it a patriarchal society.
By definition, it does.
I think that's a myth. I don't think that's
the definition is not a myth.
I'm not saying the definition is a myth, but I think it's not even relevant now because what rights or rules do men have that women don't?
So I think what you want to say is it doesn't matter if it's a patriarchal society.
I don't think.
But you can't say.
I don't think it exists anymore because we don't have the same rights and stuff as women anymore.
Kanji, you need to shift this argument. You have to admit that we are in a patriarchal society, but it doesn't matter because it doesn't benefit men. That is a patriarchal system.
But a patriarch. Marcus.
The only thing a patriarchy means is that a country or a nation or a group of people is led by a man, by the eldest man. Maybe not eldest man, but it's ran by men. That's what a patriarchy is. Now, what they do with that power is completely up to them.
Do you know how many women are in power or in the seat of Senate or in the House of Representatives?
It's not as much as men.
They minority. They're not the majority.
Yeah. There's just kind of just like it's like I said, it's still a decent argument what you have.
We ain't had a female president yet.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying it's in your best interest to pivot this argument to accept that it's a patriarchy, but it's just that it doesn't matter because they're not making. They still gonna look out for the women that they're trying to protect. Even though that's arguable, depending on how you look at the LGBT thing, that's conversation for another time. Because low key, if things keep going this way, man are gonna be running everything. But what you got, man? What you got to say before I hit this button on you, man?
I disagree.
Oh, too late. All right, let's get more of this video, man.
It's not as simple as black men waking up one day and saying, "Where the white women at?" The reality is that.
All right, so how y'all feel about us? Any last thoughts about this topic as a whole?
Like I said, I feel like that's kind of been going on. I mean,
I don't think no black man's waking up and saying where the white women at, and they using it as a symbol of.
I think there's.
I don't think so.
I think there's a.
I feel like
look, G, no, I feel like
you got your select few out there. You
got
your few out there. You got your few. You know,
you actually think there's some black people running around telling us, "Oh, I got me a white woman, so I made it."
Yeah, I definitely.
It is some people who believe that. It's some people who firmly believe that if you date white, you're doing the right thing.
Yes.
Who you know?
It's people.
I feel like it's people out there that's like that.
No, I know people that smashing white chicks because they feel like it's easy to do so. How does that feel like you winning?
I mean, because Mo Coochie.
I don't associate with these people, so it's hard for me to even say who it is. But it's like you hear it all the time. Like You done heard people saying, man, like we just talked about it, man. Forget Keisha or whatever. Get you a Becky. We done heard this plenty of times.
It ain't even just white women.
That has
Shit.
never been said. The whole
I've
get you,
heard that
don't watch
before.
with a darnell get you a Josh was an actual thing. It was a meme on Facebook. It was a meme on MySpace. It was all the TV. There's movies about it and everything.
Y'all ain't
When
heard
the
about
hell
the
you've ever
Passport
seen? Huh? Don't the Passport Bros isn't just white women. If you notice, the Passport Bros are more
No, they be going to the DI and stuff like that.
That's
too.
that's Dominic. That's not white people.
Them,
Right, that's what I'm
those
saying.
them are people.
But
I feel like
Dominicans are
the
people.
whole thing towards that is against black women.
The
though, like
Passport
American
Bros,
women.
The Passport Bros against America or the Western world as a whole. It's not specifically targeted towards black people. It's not specifically towards black women. It's
Well,
the
yeah,
Western
you saying
world.
it's for Western women as a
Yeah.
whole. Yeah, you right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
that is I'm glad you say that because that is a huge misconception. A lot of people are subjugating themselves to, and black men too. They think Passport Bros is like a black thing. It's not only has sex tourism been a part of like American men's culture abroad for like generations upon generations. This is just Passport Bros is just the latest trendy way of talking about sex tourism. But yes, white white podcasts, pro male podcasts, and they do exist. We like MGTOW is a thing. You know what I'm saying? Those guys exist, and they do talk down on white women, right? In an effort to promote sex tourism abroad, right? And I think a lot of black people, especially, get caught up in this whole black specific what they will call it menage. What's the massage noir is what they call it, right? Where it's just misogyny, but in a black tent with a black tent. It's whatever.
I've heard of that. I've heard of that.
Yeah, it's whatever. But it's like what they don't understand is y'all know, if y'all know anything about like the algorithm and stuff like that on like not just YouTube but like TikTok and all this other stuff. If you're a black person and you predominantly watch black stuff, those tags and stuff like that that's attached in the hashtags that's attached to all the things that you watch is primarily like black centric. So everything that comes to your like cell phone is gonna have a high high likelihood of being black centered. So all of the good things, all of the toxic stuff is likely gonna have some blackness attached to it. And just because all the toxic stuff that comes your way has black faces on it, does not necessarily mean that it's only black men that's talking about black women like this.
Mm-hmm.
No, lady, it starts you a whole new TikTok, get you a new phone, get you a new Google account or whatever, and then start looking at a whole bunch of white stuff. You'll see a whole lot of white content creators talking trash about white women. All right.
Here's a question for you.
What you got?
Do you think with the rise of the Passport Bros, which I fully support, do you think the interracial dating or the mass exodus of interracial dating that's going on now, do you think it blurs the lines when it comes to racism? Or will it in the future?
What do you think, Jay?
Run it back. What was it?
Do you think with the mass exodus of interracial dating that's going on now, what is either going to blur the lines or eventually blur the lines between races or the disparity between racism? Because eventually, all these people that are doing all this interracial dating, these damn mixed gender kids are popping up everywhere.
True.
So then, do you think it would like simmer down by time? We'll say what our grandkids or great grandkids. Because Pepper Bros ain't going nowhere, buddy. That shit is.
It's even worse with the Passport Bros because like now with YouTube, people can go live and request people to send in money, help them fund the trip. But no, as to what you were saying, oh shit. When it comes to interracial, man, I feel like on the surface it would lead you to think that, but I don't know because like I know that there's a certain type of people out there, these white women who's getting a black man, And like we just said, a black man who gets a white woman and sees that as status is a black woman. Is white women who get a black man and sees that as status. They don't love them for real, but they just want a black dude. They just want black babies.
Okay, so exclude black and white, right? Let's exclude them because there's always gonna be tension between them because of the past. But now let's talk about other races. We got Asians, Hispanics, South American.
It's tough. It's even worse with that because I mean, like we're all rooted in like culture. So it's like when you're introducing your significant other to your family or they're introducing you to their family, it's always going to be that pushback.
Right, but then, so would that be it? So would that racism be more diluted? Because if you notice, most countries' racist views on each other is more stereotypical than actual hate. Like with black and white people, it's tension.
Yeah,
Really, it's always based on prejudice.
I would kind of say it doesn't cloud that. I would say it kind of doesn't cloud it because I feel like racism is gonna always be there as boldly as it is. You know what I'm saying? It's always gonna be there. The racist gonna be racist. So,
Whether covert or overt.
yeah, you know exactly exactly.
Okay. True.
I feel like, interracial dating has always been a thing. It's always been there amongst the racism as well.
Yeah.
Like I say, racism is very alive, kicking. So I don't feel like interracial dating crowds that at all.
And I don't think it's going to pollute mess up the view of it because it's always going to be people who see it the way they do. It's an individual thing. It's subjective.
I feel like racism is having a problem with interracial dating itself.
It is.
But a lot of people don't have a problem with interracial dating like they used to.
I don't at all.
So you clapping the whole rainbow cheeks, huh?
Pause.
I mean, shit.
Oh, rainbow cheeks.
Look up the stars.
No. Hey,
You talking about rainbow? You gotta watch that word. I don't know. I don't know what you talking about. We talking about colors of women. Okay.
Yeah, that wrong rainbow.
Yeah, right.
All right. So yeah, all right. Well, like I said, I think for the most part, I think we still all agree that not too much wrong with interracial dating for the most part.
No.
There is. I still would like to recommend. I mean, FD Signifier did mention things like the exchange of wealth that can happen from marrying outside your race. He particularly disagreed with the notion, but honestly, there's no argument against it. You can hear his argument by clicking on his video, of course, but ultimately, just know that I completely disagree with his counter argument. But again, I mean, from just the basis of like love and stuff like that, and loving who you love, this is kind of is what it is. There's not much I can really tell anybody about who they're allowed to love and stuff like that. Just that's beyond my control. What I can do is make my
finances play into that though.
Say it again.
Like finances do play into that.
I would say finances.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I would say that too. Like I said, some people think they do not, but they're not telling the truth, right? Like I said, just kind of. But in closing, there's things outside of finances that's gonna be a challenge for you and your snow bunnies and whoever you may find yourself paired up with. But again, I guess the point I was trying to make was, I still would highly suggest FBA men, freed men, males, right? Foundational Black Americans, ADOS, where you have it. I highly suggest you pair up with Black American women, no matter how tough it may be nowadays. And I get it. I completely empathize with you. But for the sake of Black wealth and essentially brown kids, right? I'm just saying that's what here in the Black. That's what I think it would suggest for you all brethren.
And one quick thing, dealing with Americans is not easy because we have an outlook on things that's different from other countries, even on the Western world, like in South America and other Caribbean nations. Like, we have a different viewpoint and a different way of going about things. The women as well, because we grew up here with them, we see them as tougher, but it's not a reason to give up on them.
Yeah, it's not the toughness that we're giving up on them, buddy.
It's some
That has
of them
nothing
that's
to do
just-
with that.
Some people just don't feel like dealing with the BS, and it's tough dealing with BS, but it's not everybody ain't on that though.
The numbers don't show that.
The numbers don't show,
The
but
stats don't-
look, I can't even lie, bro. Like, even in my own life, I could say majority of the women I dealt with, it was BS. But you cannot ever find me a day saying, "Man, I just give up on black women."
But it's not okay.
Nah, go ahead, say what you
Cause I'm looking at him like, do we got time for this now?
No, well, I mean, we can. This sounds like a decent conversation.
Okay. It's not this. It's not so much of giving up on them. You have to understand who are the passport bros. These aren't the men that got game money.
These Negroes is passport pookies.
Right, they're not even passport pookies. They're not even pookies. Pookies are tapping all their asses. These are the men that women overlook.
Yeah, true.
These are the men that they don't. That may not have the game. That may not have the charisma.
They
don't
not know how to deal with it.
Right, they don't really know how to do it. Who have put themselves out there and they don't get it. So they figure, okay, well, I can't really pull it here. I'm gonna go somewhere else and pull it. The women you see bitching and moaning about that are the ones who got tapped up by the pookies and the high status men, and then they got like 4 kids by 4 different niggas, or the one dude that cheat on like 1,000 times. They turn back around looking for the nice guy, but the guy doesn't want them.
Yeah, tables
So
turn.
now these women got the men that they want, don't want them, and the men that they didn't want, don't want them now. So now they got a problem with it.
Yeah.
And then the very same women that were complaining about the men putting them down, because there are some that would be walking out the door talking shit, which they just shouldn't do. They would turn around and talk shit about women in different countries, call them dumb, uneducated, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Like, why are you putting other women down because you're mad?
I think a lot of black men do need to make that self journey within themselves before they decide to travel abroad to essentially take out their frustrations out on other women.
Yeah.
You don't know how to deal with American women.
I mean, what a lot of
But that's the thing, you shouldn't have to deal. That's
you're
the
gonna have to know. You are gonna have to deal.
Yeah, you're gonna deal with a woman. It's like a woman got to deal with a man.
Yeah, that's just what it is.
Yeah,
man.
that's just what it is.
That shit
gotta deal with
what
each
it
other.
is not what it should be.
It ain't even so much
It's
a
not gonna
dealing.
be
It's
what it
just
should be.
You shouldn't have to handle your woman. When you come home, your woman put to be your piece, not an extension of your day.
Not if the bills need to get paid and the diet.
I mean, that's
the
true.
baby's diapers stink.
I mean, that's true. They need
we
to be our
all-
piece, but
we
every
all-
day ain't
we all
sunshine.
got emotions, you
Right,
know.
but that's not why they're leaving. They're not leaving because they can't deal with the woman. They're not leaving because they can't deal with the diapers or like this. The women don't want them, so they go elsewhere
I think I'm
That's
not.
speaking for the passport, bro. So
all day.
yeah, that's
All
speaking for
day.
them because I
All day.
can't really relate, you know.
They never had problems getting girls in America.
Ain't no
So
problem.
right, but I'll make it clear, I've never had no problems either. But I understand, like, if you anybody would say anything, right? If you live in Chicago and you ain't really getting hoes like that, you know what I'm saying? But you moved to another state and now you getting hoes, you made the right move, right? So what's the big difference?
I feel like you
If you had,
something
like,
changed
there are
between
people
you.
who go to city schools who don't do so well, and they take that to suburban schools. Now they're doing good.
I feel like that's a mentality thing. Like, if you get a chance, if you grow up and it's just shitty out here, and then you get a chance to start over somewhere else, start anew, like, I feel like it's easier for you to come out of your shell that you was once in when you was home. Cause like, I ain't gonna lie, bro. When I moved to Atlanta, I was different from how I was when I came back. I wasn't the same person when I moved down to Georgia when I came back,
Well,
and that's on me.
That's sus, but
She said that's sus.
That was Atlanta.
She's sus about it. Ain't she sus about that?
I ain't gonna lie. Talking about Atlanta.
Isn't that amazing?
I get what he's talking
No, nigga, no, cause it ain't never that.
That was a different
No, nigga,
All right.
it ain't never that. It ain't never that.
I ain't even catch that until I had to think about that.
It ain't never that.
All right. Well,
But you know,
You gotta clear that up talking about Atlanta. You gotta clear that up.
yeah, say pause or something.
Cause it ain't never that.